Hello guys, welcome back to Gospel News with more update on as we take the go. Let's go straight to the reason why we're here. The update that we have here is about the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, the man we they see for screen here. They say the matter where they carry go for court for the United Kingdom. Say it don't ripe for hearing. UK appeal court to determine if Foreign Secretary owes British citizen Nnamdi Kanu decisive position on his extraordinary rendition. Mona know say now this one be the big deal when we don't hear about all this while because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a prisoner of conscience until proven guilty or proven otherwise. Now, the Court of Appeal in the United Kingdom will on Thursday hear an appeal brought on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu in relation to the Foreign Secretary's ongoing refusal to reach a decisive view on whether he has been subjected to extraordinary rendition. The court will hear Mr. Kanu's family's appeal. Now, what are we talking about? Remember that since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya, it's like 2 years plus now, if not going to more. They said that the United Kingdom, who he has a passport of, has refused to take a decisive action or to take their stand, whether they are supposed to go for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or just keep quiet. These people has remained silent. They no one talk anything. No, they support the Nigerian government with their lawlessness because they favor them. The case will set an important precedent on whether the British government has the right to avoid making a decision on whether a British citizen is subject to fundamental breaches of international law. In spite of overwhelming evidence of violations of their right, a statement issued by Bindmans LLP on Thursday said, remember that Bindmans LLP is what will I call it? It's a chamber of British lawyers where they represent Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the United Kingdom. And these people has brought this suit against the government of the United Kingdom, telling them and urging them to take their stand whether they are going to represent a British citizen who has been subjected to all sorts of inhumane degrading treatment, and also whether they are going to also stand for him in case of all these nonsenses will happen. This matter is not just about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's about every British citizen. In case they enter any gbege like this, what will be their reaction? Is it because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a Biafran? This is the injustice that is being encountered in the hands of these Uyibo people, where they claim, say, they love you and they want you to go to heaven. Mad people, a Jew everywhere. Mr. Kanu's family are represented by John Halford and Shireen Maka of Bind LLP, together with barristers Charlotte Kilroy Casey, Tatiana Itwell, and Isabel Buchanan. Kanu, the leader of the separatist group Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, was on June 19, 2021, abducted from the airport in Nairobi, Kenya, and then detained and tortured for about 10 days in Kenya. This is inhumane, which is unacceptable in any part of the world. Kanu was subsequently flown by a private plane from Kenya to Nigeria later in June 2021. Nobody knows the plane where they take fly Mazi Nnamdi Kanu back to Nigeria, but we know, say, a lot of people are doing businesses. Even the man winning rig election for Adamawa State against Labour Party, they say this P2B's vice, they take in plane, in private jet, they take carry him. Who even know whether they take carry Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya back to Nigeria. Since Kanu was brought to Nigeria to face trial for terrorism charges, he has been detained in solitary confinement at the headquarters of the Department of State Services, Nigeria's secret police, in the capital city, Abuja. Mr. Kanu, a British citizen, has requested consular assistance from the British government, but in the last 16 months, British High Commission officials have been permitted to visit him on only 4 occasions, the statement said. which means that the British High Commission in Nigeria have shown no interest at all in rendering any form of help to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which means that this government of British is in bed with the Nigerian government in this extraordinary rendition against their own citizen, which is Mazi. Now, according to High Commission officials in Nigeria, according to the statement, Kanu appeal challenges the High Court judgment of Mr. Justice Swift on March 23, 2023, that effectively permits the Foreign Secretary to procrastinate indefinitely and make no decision on the circumstances surrounding the torture, detention, and extraordinary rendition of Mr. Kanu. You see the kind court where they get there, where they do wuru-wuru on top of their citizen. Mr. Kanu's legal team will argue it is irrational to evade a decision, and once one is made, the decision on appropriate action can be made on a proper basis, it said. So UK should take their stand whether they will support the kidnapping of an extraordinary rendition of a British citizen from another country to another country. It quoted Mr. Kanu's brother Kingsley as saying on Thursday, "I am very pleased that the court has agreed to this appeal. My brother has been in detention for nearly 2 years now. His health, as well as his life, is at risk." That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's brother is saying to this court of appeal. I hope that the court sees the need for decisive action on this important issue and my brother's circumstance, and that I can soon see the face return of my brother to his family. In the High Court judgment, Mr. Justice Swift noted the serious wrongs committed against Mr. Kanu, including that in 2017, the Nigerian state had attempted to kill him. Swift also noted that the Nigerian authorities captured him in 2021 while he was in Kenya and subjected him to inhumane and degrading treatment, and crucially, that he was subject to rendition. On the year and so, the court also highlighted extract from the opinion of the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention and the Nigerian court, which unanimously found that Mr. Kanu was subject to extraordinary rendition and called for his release on the basis that his ongoing detention is arbitrary. However, despite clearly recognizing the gravity of the wrongs committed against Mr. Kanu, the court disappointingly held that Mr. Kanu has no legitimate expectation that the British government should reach a firm view for itself on what had occurred on its seriousness. They say that the UK, they run away from their duties in representing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOB leader. The court also held that it was rational for the Foreign Secretary to maintain a provisional view on whether Mr. Kanu has been subject to extraordinary rendition despite the overwhelming evidence. This is particularly surprising given that Mr. Justice Swift reached the view that Mr. Kanu had been rendered on the basis of evidence before him, the statement said. This is where we are going to know whether these British, how evil these people can be. It is on this particular ruling that we are going to find out. You know that these people have been shying away from the truth, which is the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is unacceptable in any law court of this world. And that is the reason the appeal court in Nigeria discharged and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And they made it clear that no other court in Nigeria had that temerity, have the power to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again. But what do we have today? We have appeal on top of an appealed case. They have been appealing everything appealable. Una dey see am? Or do you go, my people? I beg, Mona, me pull mouth for this matter. May we know the one where we did. But after that, too, Barrister Michael Zekome have also issued a statement based on the court hearing they had this the other day. Let's hear from him first.
July the 20th for ruling on the application filed by the council to pro-Biafra agitator Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, asking the court to compel the Department of State Services to allow him access to a medical doctor of his choice. The hearing of the suit filed by Mr. Kanu, lawyer to the detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Mr. Mike Ozekome, informed the court that the IPOB leader requires urgent ear surgery. Mr. Mike Ozekome explained that the DSS has repeatedly refused to grant Mr. Kanu access to his personal doctor and has also refused to release his medical records. But counsel to the DSS argued that Mr. Kanu was being given proper feeding and medical attention while in DSS custody.
At that meeting, I told the Director of Legal Services, after we had brainstormed for more than 1 hour as to how and why such a short surgery will be done. And the meeting was actually instigated by my letter to the DSS that Nnamdi Kanu should be allowed to have this ear surgery based on your own medical report. The SSS itself, their doctor, their in-house doctor, checked his ear in November 2022 and found that it was having some blockage, and that there was a need to operate on this ear before he gets deaf. I therefore wrote to the SSS to let us meet, and they approved that meeting. And we met with the Director of Legal Services of SSS. The 2 in-house medical doctors, a male and female, were there, and some other top officials of SSS were there.
All right, guys, and I don't hear this one. Oh, now so the matter just take the go small. We still get another update on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That will be coming up after this update. Don't drop finish. So don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Let's go there.